Hello.
Hi everybody, it's book haul time.
It is book haul time. Fire in the hall! No?
Which will be the title
It'll
of this
definitely
video.
be the title. I just thought
So
about that.
this video is to share all of the books that we managed to pick up in the month of July.
Yes,
Which is a pretty tidy little haul, yet again.
tidy about, yes.
So we're gonna start real quick by talking about all of the
Publisher stuff that sort of came in. So
that sort of came in the mail.
what has come in the mail?
From Simon & Schuster, I got a art copy of Evercurse by Korra, which I've actually already read. You'll see me talk about it in some what we read video in the future. But Evercurse is essentially the story of a princess who is determined to break the curse that is on herself and her sisters before it becomes permanent. And so she has to do this by finding out from the witch who cast it how to break the curse, except that it turns out that she has to team up with this witch.
It's a race against Ever.
Yes, basically.
Sorry.
It's a really good book. I was really surprised because it weaves in certain themes that I wasn't expecting it to, and I really like that a lot. So definitely check it out. It should be out now. Then from HarperCollins, I have two things. So from Harlequin, I have a copy of Secret Crush Seduction by J.C. Lee. So it's about a main character named Adelaide Song, and she is trying to prove that she's more than just, like, you know, spoiled, pampered heiress. In order to do so, one of the things that she ends up getting help, like one of the people she ends up getting help from is her older brother's best friend, Michael.
Right,
and
course.
You can understand, if you know what kind of romance tropes I like, why I was interested in this book, because I'm a sucker for stories where it's the older brother's best friend that the main character falls in love with. So I'm gonna be reading this and letting you guys know what I think. Also from Harper, but this time from Harper Teen, Team Epic Reads, I got a copy of Love Boat Taipei by Abigail Hingwen, which you guys have actually heard me talk about.
Yep.
Where it's basically a girl named Ever Wong, another Ever Wong. She gets sent by her parents to this sort of, it's like a summer camp where you kind of get in touch with your Mandarin culture, where you learn Mandarin and get in touch with the cultural aspects of that, except that it's also the kind of program that teens have sort of treated as
like the best place to hook up.
Yeah, basically. So it's like a party away from your parents.
Awesome.
Anyway, it's really fun and it's a really quick read too. I enjoyed the aspect of them being away from home. I also enjoyed the fact that it's about Ever really coming to terms with what she really wants out of life and who she really is. And yeah, it's really great. All right, we have the first unboxing in this video. So from, I think it's from Disney. I could be wrong, but it is a box for The Voting Booth, which is by Brandy Colbert. So here's the card that the box came in, which has the cover and a finished copy of the book.
Lovely.
It's basically about two teens who have to, like, sort of run around so that the one teen can get registered to vote.
Right.
Oh, it comes with a little pennant that says "Make it count."
Oh, that's cute.
Oh, and there's a shirt. Probably also says "Make it count."
Yeah.
Oh no, it's a sweatshirt.
It's a sweatshirt.
Even better. It's a sweatshirt that says "Make it count."
That is awesome.
And there's a few pins too, which are very cute.
What do they say?
One says The Voting Booth, the other one just has like the heart graffiti on it, and then the other one says "Make it count."
Which is awesome.
And there's also a sticker for it.
Pretty cool box.
So yeah, it's a pretty great box. I'm really looking forward to reading that book. I think it'll be really fun. Also, if you're not yet registered to vote in the US, you should do that before the upcoming elections.
That is correct.
We also have another exciting box, which is also from Disney, but specifically from the Rick Riordan Presents imprint. Mackie was really excited when it showed up in the mail.
So the box is open. You've got a little card.
Okay.
Right. Ooh, you have
Oh my gosh, I love those!
You have starbursts.
I love
kind
starbursts.
of starbursts, which means I feel like starbursts are going to be a. There you go. That's who we start. Hey, there's two, but guess who's gonna grab this other pack too?
It's my birthday. I can have it.
And third time's a charm.
Wow, that is a lot of starbursts.
3 packs of.
Also, there's so many pink ones, and that is literally
3 packs of starbursts. Always good to maybe not share. Also liked. Which is kind of cool. It's got the River of Tears.
Extremely useful.
Super useful. Ooh, okay, this comes in a little like box.
Oh, nail polish!
It's a nail polish kit. How awesome is that? You've got
There's
your
even
iridescent
a nail clipper in there.
and a nail clipper and like a little nail buffer and
like
a little
the
toe separator
maybe
thing.
I should just use
and a really gorgeous like purple and green. Like,
I really like
kind
that.
of color.
So much fun.
Yeah, I know we don't have that color, so when I do Alexis nails, that might actually work in.
Ah!
And a
it's so
gorgeous finished copy in the same
colors.
purple and green, you know, kind of theme by Teller K. Mejia.
Paulo Santiago and the River of
Paulo
Tears.
Santiago, the River of Tears. So
okay.
I think this
here's
is
the
okay. There you go.
See it.
Paulo Santiago has always relied on hard science to make sense of the world, but to find her missing friend, she will have to enter the world of her nightmares, which includes a natural mist, mind-bending monsters, and relentless spirits controlled by a terrifying force that defies both logic and legend.
Oh my god.
This is based on the legend of the La Llorona, which I don't
I'm not
I've
very
seen a
familiar
movie about it, but yeah, it's definitely like probably Death River related.
Oh my gosh, it sounds so good.
Can she trade a chupacabra puppy with starbursts? Can Paula save her friend's arm with just a flashlight? Oh, what a perfect box.
It's gonna be so good.
And is the Legend of La Llorona real? Okay, that's
it
fair.
sounds so great. We're so behind on our Rick Riordan Presents rating.
100% behind.
We gonna catch up.
We will get there. We will get there. That was super, super awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much to the Rick Riordan Presents team.
In fact, we are going to have a Riordan Presents extravaganza.
I feel like we need to do that one month. That's all that we
Yeah, that's all that's just our thing. We're gonna go for broke on the podcast and just really like end the year strong. We're sort of like mid-season hiatus, I think, is the best organic discovery of the whole Path of Least Resistance theme. So we will be podcasting soon again. Thank you to those again who have been listening. It's gonna be awesome. Which leads us to your non
that I bought.
Yeah.
Well, except for this first one, because it was not something I bought. It was something that I got as a present from Mackie. It is a finished copy of the sort of repackaged version of Kiki's Delivery Service by Eiko Kadono. I hope I'm saying that right. But anyway, if you guys have listened to the podcast or watch our channel long enough, you guys will know that Kiki's Delivery Service is one of my favorite Studio Ghibli movies.
Of all time.
It's just so cute. It's the story of this witch who is now at an age, I think it's 13, right?
Yeah,
where she has to leave
her
her home
and make her own trade.
Establish her own, like, sort of new home.
Yeah, find a town, ply her wares, whatever her strengths are.
Pretty much.
And Kiki, unfortunately, doesn't know how to do anything really, really well except flying.
And you might be able to guess what she ends up doing with that skill. But anyway, this has a gorgeous cover. I'm super excited to actually read it because I don't think I've ever read the story.
Yeah, no, it's true. Super excited to see.
I just watched the movie like a billion times, but you know.
Yeah, and since Ghibli has a way of Ghiblifying sort of like a story.
Yeah, I want to see
nice
like
to see
if
what
there's
the source
like a
material.
difference or not. So.
Yeah, because they did that for Arrietty, Earthsea.
But there are a few that are. Oh, Hell.
How?
That's what I was thinking
How?
of. Anyway, the end result of this will probably be me reading this and then being like, we should watch the movie again, even though we already watched it this year.
We're gonna watch it again.
It's great.
It doesn't matter.
The rest of this is stuff that I bought. Some of it because other people told me to do it. So that includes this book, which is Boyfriend Material by Alexis Hall. My friend DJ, surprise, surprise, is the one who told me to read this. So the reason that I wanted to read this is that it has a fake dating trope in it.
Ah, yes, fake dating.
You know, it's about the child of a rock star named Luke. And so he's kind of in the public eye, and there's a compromising photo with him in it. And the only way to sort of repair his reputation is to fake date someone who is, you know, good and like someone that
is
everyone
publicly acceptable.
Basically perfect boyfriend material. And so that's where that stands. This book I bought just because it sounded like something I would want to read. It's called Any Day With You by May Respicio, who is a Filipino-American author. Cool. It is basically about a 12-year-old and her relationship with her grandfather who likes to tell her Filipino story, like mythology stories. Oh. So definitely want to read that. It sounds super cute, right? I really want to read that. The next book I bought because Kristen told me to. Because sometimes I listen to my friends. It's a book called Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia, and it's basically a gothic horror, which is not something I thought I would ever want to read, but I am really curious. So basically the story is that the main character gets contacted by her newly married cousin, and the cousin's telling her that the family she married into is trying to murder her. Oh, heck. So she goes off to see like the cousin where she lives, and then she discovers that there's something like wrong with that situation. So I am very curious.
That is classic.
I mean, I don't read a lot of horror, but if I do, it has to be like the super atmospheric kind. Predictably, because we finished watching the entirety of Sailor Moon, including the films, I picked up the first of the Eternal Edition. So this is volume 1. It has Usagi on the cover, and it's very shiny, which I don't know will be captured on camera. Anyway, I think I've only read part of the manga. I don't think I actually finished it. So I wanted to get it because I wanted a break between watching the original Sailor Moon and watching Sailor Moon Crystal. So I was like, let me just read the manga first, which will probably result in you seeing more editions, more Eternal Editions in future hauls. Speaking of anime-related things.
Here we go.
So I did not know this was happening until Maki told me, and the minute he told me it was happening,
you're welcome.
I was like, I need this book. And then I thought it was going to be like a far-off release. Nope.
Oh, no, it was happening like
July.
right there.
So
she pre-ordered it right there.
This is like the first light novel, I want to say.
One of the first new ones, I guess.
One of the first new ones. It says Can't Fear Your Own World Part 1, and the only reason I needed this Bleach light novel is it's because it's about Hisagi, who is one of my favorite
Vice
captains.
Is he a vice captain?
He's a vice captain.
Okay, he's a vice captain already.
I literally paid no attention to what the plot was about. It just, all that mattered was that it was about Hisagi.
It's basically a flyer for the gun show, but anyway.
This book I actually ordered a while back, but it was back ordered and it finally came in. It's The Poet X by Elizabeth Acevedo. And I know that my friend Rachel from Hello Charlie really loved this book. So it's basically about a girl named Shiomara, and it's told in verse, and she's basically expressing all of her feelings about her own life, her relationships, her beliefs, I want to say. And I'm really curious because this is a book that has gotten a lot of acclaim from a lot of people, so can't wait to check it out. Then we have a book with a very cute cover. It's called Crushing on You by Jen Trin. This one I got because Lisa from Remarkably Lisa was like, you should read it. The main character, Anna, so she has a type that she doesn't gravitate towards, and that's Asian people. Because it's a little traumatizing to her, because I think her family has been, you know, Asian matchmaking her, which means every available Asian dude they can think of is
right,
pushed
of course,
on her.
yeah.
Then she meets this very cute guy on a flight, and he just so happens to be Asian, so therefore he's not her type.
Right.
Or is he?
Or is he? Or is he?
And then we have Piecing Me Together, which is by Ernée Watson. And this is basically about a main character who is determined to get out of her poor neighborhood in order to succeed at life. I've always wanted to read something by this author, and so I decided that this should be my first.
And here we go.
I think that's all I've got to tell you guys about for now.
Right, yeah. So second to the last set of books that we want to talk about are the stuff that I sort of got in the mail and what have you. So I'm gonna start with the Manga Matrix, oldie but goodie. Basically, it's a drawing book with some pretty disturbing photos all of a sudden, I realized. But it's basically kind of like, you know, creating like a grid of, if you combine these several elements, what are you gonna get? So there's literally like, you know, kind of like, there's even that grid at the back where you've got human being, doll, mammal, fowl, reptile, amphibian, fish, insect. And just, you know, combine all of that stuff and just sort of like put your finger on it and say, okay, it's a reptile. So I guess my useful because my brother uses this for stuff. We are in the process of creating our fantasy worlds, and every so often we're going to need something like this to sort of like loosen the mind, I want to say would be good. Alrighty, the next couple of books that I wanted to sort of talk about would be books 2 and 3 of the Apprentice Witch series by James Nichols.
Should have gotten the first one, so they're all in the same edition.
It tells the continuing stories of Arian Wynn, who is an apprentice witch, very much in the vein of Kiki's Delivery Service, where where it's time that she goes to a village and tries to be the, you know, kind of a witch and plies her trades, and she ends up really making a name for herself in book 1. This tells us what happens next. It's so cute because I decided to leaf through some of the forward notes here, and they were sort of like, one of the publishers was sort of begging James Nichols, please take us back to Arian Wynn's world, and then he's like, all right, fine. And then here are these two books. So it's going to be A Witch Alone and A Witch Come True.
I love those titles.
Yeah, so obviously book 2, always a dip. Book 3...
Well, you don't know that yet.
We don't know that yet. So on that note, we want to talk about the comics that I bought, starting with another year of Marvel Unlimited. So this is kind of an unboxing-ish, sort of, because if you don't know, if you subscribe to Marvel Unlimited at an extremely exorbitant price, considering you only read comics from 6 months ago, but you have access to literally almost every single Marvel comic book, pretty much almost every. So if somebody posts something online and they're like, where's that from? That's from X-Men 647. Cool, I can literally go in and go, oh yeah, I want to read that entire thing. And it's not just X-Men, it's everything Marvel, right? So it's kind of like Marvel for Netflix.
So it's worth it for you, I think.
It's 100% worth it for me. Its counterpart is obviously DC Universe Online, which has a ton of comics too, and that's where I'm reading a lot of my stuff. So it's just comics galore, and it's super awesome. So time to unbox. As usual, it's going to give you like a little sort of opening letter. Clearly this year's theme is X-Men, because it is all about the X-Men.
Guess who's all about X-Men?
These days. And then it always comes with a bunch of sort of like semi-limited edition, single editions, and these are House of X sort of
this the one we were talking about?
Books, right? And it's kind of cool because it's got homage. Like this variant cover is pretty cool because this is from sort of like the Claremont era where Jean sort of died again. This is Age of Apocalypse Wolverine. This is obviously the new Charles, and the white outfit Magneto. So very, very cool, actually.
That's pretty cool.
And then I think that's issue 1, or is it 2 variant issue 1s? I'm not so sure. Yeah, issue 1 of 6, and then this is also issue 2 of 6. Issues 1 and 2 of House of X. Very, very fun, very, very cool. And then if you open it up, you're gonna get some additional merch. So there's an X sort of patch, and it's the Krakoa X patch.
I could put it on a jacket.
100% want to put it on a jacket.
For you,
You've got a little enamel Cyclops pin right there, which is super cool. And as always, an action figure. I think a couple of years ago we got Carol Danvers. No, not Danvers. We got Tony Stark, like not Iron Man, like Tony in a thing. But this time I get purple Deadpool. I don't know why, but that's cool. And we're gonna store all of that stuff where I keep all of my other Marvel Limited boxes. So for some of the comic books that I got, so there was a huge sale again, and I had no idea why I didn't get these at the time. I thought I had the entire Sandman series. Apparently I didn't. And so when Comixology went on sale for Neil Gaiman's stuff, it definitely got Sandman volumes 1 through 3.
1 to 3.
Which is so weird that I didn't have that. And then I got a bunch of other stuff too. So Sandman Dream Hunters, Sandman Presents, and then Sandman Overtures. Last but certainly not least, Old Guard Volume 1, Opening Fire, which is I think the first book. I think the first, you know, the covers everything that the movie covered. First 5 issues. The second series is called Force Multiplied, so I don't know if that's the second movie, but either way, hand is hovering over the buy button because I can't friggin' wait for September for the collected editions when I can get issues 1 to 5 of Force Multiplied right now. You'll find out at the next haul
what he decides
what
to
I
do.
ended up doing. How many people want to bet I will probably get both, or just cave and just let it be, or just let it be sort of messy because, you know, overkill is overkill. That's pretty much what the whole thing is. Slight homage to the Alphabet Squadron book, which I also got in July. Finally caved, and because I miss me my X-Wing sort of stories, and for them to sort of create, all right, who are the hotshot pilots now in this new era that officially exists? I kind of want to know. Looking forward to whatever Alexander Freed has got for us. I have not read any of his stuff. He is not one of the usuals. It was Michael Stackpool who did a lot of the X-Wing books that I absolutely love, followed by Aaron Alston, who did all of the shenanigan-y X-Wing books that I absolutely love.
Shenanigans.
So there's that.
Who doesn't love shenanigans?
I know who does. So let's turn things over to Alexa and her final piece of this haul.
First, I wanted to preface this by saying I just realized this is the first haul in a while where we don't have any Shadowhunter things in it. It's a shocker. It's an anomaly.
Of course, we could have gotten away with this being the first video that didn't have any Shadowhunter mention at all.
Oh, no,
but here we are.
It's gonna have a mention.
But here we are. Nothing
anyway,
Shadowhunter-y
so nothing Shadowhunter
so far.
But I do have a new section for this video, and it's extra special. This is the Avatar The Last Airbender
This is
section.
the Avatar The Last Airbender.
So, if you have not yet watched Avatar The Last Airbender,
it's totally on
all
Netflix
3
right now.
seasons
Grab it.
are on Netflix. They're great. I'm almost done rewatching it. I just have been avoiding ending the second season because of the heartbreak that it's going to cause me.
It is painful. like most second installments of anything.
It's great, but it's also heartbreaking.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been avoiding that. But I did get a couple of Avatar related things because I may or may not have panicked. Okay, so the thing is, I really love the library editions of all the Avatar The Last Airbender graphic novel comics. And I didn't realize that most of them have very limited print runs. So now I was like, I need to get all of them before like they disappear again. Suffice to say, my search was for one of them still, and I'm still waiting for it to come back in stock someday. Girl can dream. Anyway, we're gonna start with a book actually that's related to Avatar that released this month, and it's The Shadow of Kyoshi by FC. This book is the second in the duology about Avatar Kyoshi. Have not read the first yet, but it's on my 10 books to read in 2020 list, and since I have both, I can just read them back to back whenever I want to. So Kyoshi is an Avatar that is mentioned in the first season. She is pre-Aang's time, and this is her story, basically.
A couple of avatars
Before that. Okay, then I will preface the next section by saying Maki already owns all of this on Comixology, but because I'm a brat and I like having things in my library because I love them, I now own them physically. So the first thing is Team Avatar Tales, which Maki has actually read, did not love, but because it's an Avatar thing, it had to be in my library.
Just think of like...
It's basically different little sort of episodic segments that feature shenanigans with the gang.
For those of you who've watched, I think of the Tales of Ba Sing Se episode, only a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
For sure, and then just so many stories.
So,
and that's fine.
And then I have 2 of the Avatar The Last Airbender library editions. The first one is North and South.
Very cool. I love
really
this particularly.
Love this cover. And Maki, yeah, this is one of your favorites, yeah?
Yeah. This is, and just for reference, this is again post Avatar The Last Airbender on TV. Stuff happens in the Southern Water Tribe that involves the Northern Water Tribe, and Sokka and Katara are right in the middle of everything.
Yeah, of course they are. And then this is the newest one. It's Imbalance.
Ooh, I have not read this one
which
yet.
I don't think, yeah, you haven't read this yet, right? So neither of us really knows what it's about, but I now own it, so that's great. And of course, because I was already stocking up on Avatar, I also picked up the first Legend of Korra, which is Turf Wars. have not read it yet. And I also sort of want to rewatch Korra before I read it, but also sort of don't. We'll see. Those are all the things that we've got to share for our July book haul. If you have read any of these and are excited for us to read them, let us know. If you're a fellow Avatar The Last Airbender fan, let us know too, because that's really exciting. And also you have to tell us who your favorite characters are. Although I'm very hard pressed to decide. The first time I watched, pretty sure Zuko was my favorite. This second pass that I'm watching, Sokka is actually my favorite, which is kind of unshocking to most people who know me. But anyway, we hope you guys are well. See you guys with a new video soon. Bye!